right. So this is the part of the meeting that's called "What's Up in Minnesota." So, because a lot of times, remember I said I had people would come up and ask me, they'd say, you guys are doing these investigations, you're doing this, you're doing that. We want to know what's happening in Minnesota. Can you have your field investigators do presentations? And I would talk to field investigators and can you do a presentation? Can you talk about this case? And they'd be like, well, I haven't quite started yet. It sounds good, but I want to get a little more information. Or they'll close out a case. It sounded good, but it's not as good as I thought it was. And they didn't really want to. And so, but I kept getting these requests from you, the people. We want to know what's happening in Minnesota. So I created this segment of our meeting every month called What's Up in Minnesota, which breaks down into two different parts. So the first part is the updates. So the updates is the part where I take a case I've shown you before that wasn't completed, that's now completed. And I tell you what the conclusion was that the field investigator came to. So that's the updates. And then I go into the new cases. So these are cases that have come in since our last meeting through yesterday. So I'll tell you what's happened in the past month and let you know what's being reported to us and let you know who's working on and what we're working on for that. So this one is a case that's been now completed. It's case number 142829-U, and let's see if we even have anything on this one. Nothing on that. Okay. So Jamie Flood was working on it. She completed this one as insufficient data. So insufficient data is common when we get a case. It doesn't matter how much they put in the report or not. If there's questions that are unanswered, if we reach out to the witness and we want to interview the witness and the witness declines an interview or doesn't get back to us, or there's too many holes in the cases, it's just like it says, it's insufficient data, so we close it out that way. Where our target is to close every case within 90 days of getting them. And some of our cases are very current, but in the past year or two, we've gotten cases from the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. So it's not always current cases. Most of them are within the past 10 or 20 years, but we do get some older ones. So we try to determine what those cases are. This one was insufficient data. And so we've got a number of different dispositions that we close cases out on. I'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we go on. So Jamie Flood was working on this. She's one of our newer field investigators, and she is doing a bang-up job. Jamie, if you're watching this, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're doing great. We love the work that Jamie is doing. Fantastic field investigator. She had a lot of stuff in her field investigator findings. I'm just going to give you a segment of what Jamie said about this, and you're going to hear how she came to the conclusion that this case had insufficient data. So my initial contact with the witness, she expressed a desire to only communicate via email. We like to do a phone interview if we can. Several emails were exchanged with the witness wherein I posed several questions and the witness would respond sporadically, answering some questions only partially and not answering the other questions at all. Unanswered questions as of the time of this report include: 1, were stars visible at the time the orb was seen? She wouldn't answer that, or didn't answer that. What time was the observation event? That's really important. What's the day and time, so we can kind of track down what that may be. We didn't have an answer to that. 3, what part of the sky was the orb seen in when you first saw it? That's important too. If we know where she is, where the orb was, we can start kind of triangulate, trying to figure out what may have been there by looking at different aeronautical databases and different things that track planes and satellites and stuff, trying to figure out what that may be. We weren't able to get that. 4, how did the orb and jet, so she saw both, appear to you? For example, did you look up and then see them in a certain section of the sky, or were you looking at the sky and then see them when they flew into the visible portion of the sky from below the horizon? 5, what direction was the jet coming from? That's important. If we know there's a jet, we can find out what that jet, when track it down. Was it a military jet? Was it a civilian jet, commercial jet? Kind of find out what's going on there, but we couldn't get that. 6, what part of the sky were the jet and the orb in when you last saw them? Where did you first see them? Where did you last see them? So we can get an idea of what the motion is. All these things have been unanswered. So the witness was informed of my conclusion of insufficient data. No response received from the witness to this finding thus far. So that's the thing too. We want to close them within 90 days. So we don't have a conclusion here other than insufficient data. But the witness can still come back to our field investigator. Our field investigator can still reach out. If we're able to get more information, we can go back in and we can change the conclusion if we get more information. So even though a case is closed, they're never completely closed. We're always open to more data and more information. So that's what's going on with that. And this is just a small segment of what Jamie's conclusion was. She's thorough. She's detail-oriented. Again, Jamie, thank you. You're doing a fantastic job for us. We certainly appreciate that. So that's it for my updates. So now we're going into the new cases. So the new cases that we got. So again, these were submitted between the day of our last meeting through yesterday. There's 4 of them. The date range submission was, or the date range of the events were, let's see, the oldest one was from, where's the oldest one? The oldest one is from July 28th of 2023. So we've got a couple years on it. So we've got much older, but this couple years on it. Our most current one was from March 5th of this year. So the different shapes that were being reported, we're going to see a disc, star-like, a circle, and an unknown. So that's when they report them, they can report what kind of shapes they've seen. Valet classifications. So valet classifications, we talked about it being scientific study of UFOs, and we try to stick to that scientific rigor. And in Project Blue Book, which was headed up, the civilian head of that was J. Allen Hynek. His assistant was named Jacques Vallée. And as they gathered all this information, what you do with scientific data, you gather the information, then you start compiling it and comparing it. What things are in common? What things are different? And you start putting them in categories. And once you got them in categories, you have to start naming these categories. And Jacques Vallée was part of this naming process. So these are called Vallée classifications. So coming up this month, we had one CE1. So CE is a close encounter of the first kind. You've probably all heard of a close encounter of the third kind. Well, there's only 4, and I think we're doing okay. So what is there? Oh, is there a picture? Oh, this is okay. Good. So cool. Well, I'll talk about the first one first. So yeah. So this. Oh, really? Let's see what we got. Okay, here. Do we? Okay, so I know what one that is. So yeah. So close encounter of the first kind. You've all heard of close encounter of the third kind. Well, all the Vallée classifications go through levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, and there's 4 different categories. So the categories are close encounters, AN, which stands for anomaly. So there's anomalies, there's close encounters, there's anomalies. There's also flybys. We see something flying by. And the last one is a maneuver. We see an object or light, and it's making a maneuver. So those are the categories of Vallée classifications. Our first one is a case number 143173-U, took place on March 5th of 2025 at 6 p.m. This was a disc shape, close encounter of the first kind. So MUFON defines a close encounter of the first kind as the class of objects seen on the ground or a short distance to the observer. So close encounter of the third kind, there's an entity. Close encounter of the first kind, no entity. So that's one of the distinctions there. So this took place in Aurora, which is in St. Louis County. There's short description. They can put in a short description and a detailed description. The short description is always limited. The detail they can go on as long as they want. So their short description, he put in a wife came racing into the house and yelling for me to grab my camera and hurry. That was his short description. Now his detailed description, here's just a segment of it. As I stepped outside my back door, my gaze locked upon an array of different colored lights that drifted over the tree line, then merged into one large white orb, then split into 2 lights and vanished from the sight to the northwest. I thankfully remembered I had grabbed my phone camera, but the pictures don't do it justice. And I only wish I had my video camera app on instead. I tried to zoom in on one of the photos, but could only get the 2 orbs of light right before they drifted silently off to the northwest horizon, vanished in the blink of an eye. Bill Anding is working on that one. That case is currently in progress. So Bill is working on that one. And it sounds like we've got pictures of this to show you. So let's take a look at some of the pictures on this one. So this is the first picture. See the 2 orbs. And I know some of you have been here before. You might know the answer. So I'm going to ask you this anyways. So we've got this picture. This picture is not eligible for photo analysis. Can anyone tell me why this picture is not eligible for photo analysis? Okay, Eric, Kim, we're going to hold on. Does anyone else know why this is not eligible? Mike knows. Anyone else know why it's not eligible? And Jan knows. Okay. Oh, you know. Okay. You want to tell me? No. Correct. Correct. Yes. Good answer. So anyone else want to guess? Because I know Bill knows too. So let's. So Bill's our former chief investigator. Did you have another guess?
Oh no, we had a video. We were driving through Utah. We just had a video encounter that we had. That's why we're here today. We were talking about that.
Great, cool. We'll probably we'll get your introductions in a few minutes, but yeah, we'll. So the reason why, let's have Bill McNeff tell us why is this picture not, because we can do video analysis on videos and photo. I meant photo analysis. I was saying video analysis. Was I? Yeah. So photo is not eligible for a photo analysis. And anyone know why it's not eligible for a photo analysis? I don't know if it's a screen grab. The reason why I would say this is not eligible for what's that? No, not pixels. On the close on, there's 2 more pictures. You'll kind of see pixels, and we'll see them on there. This is not eligible for a photo analysis because it's been edited. So when our photo analysis look at an image, If it's edited, they immediately disqualify it. Now, if they've got the originals unedited, that would be eligible for photo analysis, but this one would not be. I meant to say photo, not video, so I apologize for everybody. So here's the thing again. So if this is unedited, this would be eligible for a photo analysis. And you said pixels. I think this one's bigger. And actually, you can kind of see, it looks like right here, it looks like these are either structures or there might be little pixels on here. And if those are pixels, what's happening there is we've got a very dark background. We've got two very bright objects. And when there's a dark background and there's bright light coming into the digital cameras, the pixels can get overloaded and they'll show up as little dots. So sometimes you see like a dot matrix on stuff. That dot matrix is those individual pixels being overloaded. So these could be overloaded pixels right here, or they could be part of a structure of whatever this is. So, he sent the picture in as a circle. So I don't know if that's an edited picture or not, but he sent it in as a circle. So I thought that was interesting. So let's see, do we have the case for this one? So our second case, so this is one we're going to want, you might want to prep because we got videos on this one again too. We're looking for videos for case number 143214. So case number 143214-U. So U is a qualifier. The MUFON has different qualifiers for the cases. U is UFO, A is abduction, E is entity, and UE is experience, or your EQ is experience or questionnaire. And they can have one or all of them. This is just -U. This event took place on July 28th, 2023 at 3:17 a.m. The shape was star-like. The valet classification was AN1. So AN1 is an anomaly of the first kind. An anomaly of the first kind. And MUFON defines an anomaly of the first kind as anomalies that do not have lasting physical effects, such as amorphous lights or unexplained explosions. So it's an anomaly, maybe not a crap, but there's something anomalous happening, so we can't describe that. So this took place in Grand Rapids, up in Itasca County. Their short description was stationary pulsating UFO in eastern sky. The detailed description, in the early AM hours of summer in late July, 2 years ago, 7/28/2023, I noticed a flashing light up in the sky to the east. I'd never noticed anything like it before, so I felt the urge to record it on my phone. I made sure to get street lights and buildings in view along with another star or object in the sky, so you could see the obvious abnormality of the sight. So, and Bill McNeff is working on this, so he'll be working on this. And I think we've got 5 videos on this one. So, and you can see, and so the number is 143214. So. So Bill McNeff is working on that one. When Bill completes that, we will update you on what Bill finds on that. So, and our next case is case number 143225-U. That sighting took place on July 20th of this year at 12:53 a.m. A circle was seen, MA1, so it's a maneuver of the first kind. A maneuver of the first kind gathers those UFO observations that involve an object with a discontinuous trajectory, such as a drop, a maneuver, or a loop. And this was seen in the township of Bayton, which is in Hennepin County. I've never heard of the township of Bayton, but apparently it's in Hennepin County is what the report says anyway. So the short description was tracked it across the entire night sky from the south, was tens of thousands of feet high. Detailed description, white orb at tens of thousands of feet, dancing, looping, stopping, and demonstrating instantaneous acceleration and directional changes in the sky. Jamie Flood is working on that one. And we should have a video for that. Do we? 143225? Okay, maybe that one didn't have a video, so. So Jamie's working on that one. When Jamie completes that one, we'll revisit this one and we'll let you know how she completes that one. And now, this is the case with the video that's been giving us all the problems that locked up our whole system. So this is case number 143473-U. Took place on August 4th of this year at 3 a.m. The shape was unknown. They didn't know what the shape was. The classification was the MA2. So now we've got a maneuver of the second kind. So maneuver of the second kind, MUFON defines that as includes those cases that give rise to physical effects in addition to the discontinuous trajectory. So MA2. This took place in Duluth. Red and green flashing lights. That's all the short description was red and green flashing lights. And then for their detailed description, this is their entire detailed description. I watched it go from left to right, hovered, then went straight down, landed on a park point. We watched it while it stayed there, it landed, then it went straight up and to the left. It stopped mid-flight, then looked like it came at us, and then swooped around and then went back to the right. It disappeared by a building for a little bit. It reappeared and went back to the left and stopped and hovered in the same spot as before. Then all of a sudden, it went straight down and disappeared into what looked like Lake Superior. There's a tail end at the, I have a tail end at the video. So I'm investigating that one. It's currently in progress. So it's one of my cases. We have a video for it. It's kind of a longer video. We'll play it for you, but it's one of my cases. So you know what it's got? It's got lots of bad words in it. I get the cases with the bad words. So if you're offended by bad words, there's quite a few MFers in it. There's some other bad words in it, but we're going to play the video for you. You can see the video and see what they see. I have a suspicion what it may be, but and he actually gives us a clue too. He says red and green lights on it. So let's pull up that video and play that video, if we could, please.
I can't get, oh, there he is. I got you. Got you, you little bastard. Real fast, that moving. See, look at, now he stopped, took off again. Now see that?
I'll walk over this way.
It. We got him on you. We got him on you.
Yeah, I can catch it blinking. See, it just stopped at mid-flight.
Yeah, this thing's going and stopping, and going and stopping.
Hey, it just went shooting downwards now. Look. Look, it's going downwards. Going down into the water. He went down into the water. See him?
No, he's on the water. What happened?
Yeah, back.
He did, he went in the water. Yeah, mother went in the water.
That shit went right in the water.
No man, really? Went straight down into the water.
See, but those building references are nice because we could actually go out to that spot and verify exactly where this is and kind of get an idea. So it's really helpful when we have these kind of points of references in our videos.
I wonder if it knew we were watching it.
Oh, it's probably laughing at us.
Right?
Moving it on. Probably saying, yeah, they're like two. You
Hey.
still back like you ain't getting rid of shit.
Hey, I told you that about straight down.
It did. I mean, that going on a curve.
That's how, when I first seen it, it came from this way and it went straight down and went over by them other lights. And then shot up, and that's when we seen it come over this way.
UFO experience.
And went, that's not my first one.
Wait, not.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that's a case I'm working on. Despite all the bad language, I'll be investigating that. When I complete that case in conclusion, I will show it to you in one of our updates and let you know what I determined on that. And it's been such a crazy day, I'm all out of order, so I got some other stuff I need to do.